Hey, how's it going? It's Matthew, aka EZBOT, back with another episode of Elektron Talk, episode 21. And if you saw the thumbnail, then you would know that this one is about the Polyend play. Give me 1 second, I need to use my keyboard and, invite my Discord to come and hang out with us. Because it's nice having some company. Even though it shows up with the wrong thumbnail, the wrong kid died. Yeah, so I've had the Polyend play for about 2 days. I've gotten to play with it for about 3 or 4 hours, and I've watched most of the tutorial content available for it. I've also read some of the, manual, not all of the manual. I feel like there's maybe a few things that I need to go back in and look at the manual for, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure I've got it covered, I think. Where's my... Here we go. There we go. Yeah, so let me switch over the camera view and we'll talk about what's going on here. We also have the Siren Drone Oscillator over here as well. You can hear that sucker creeping in. Pretty cool. Very interesting oscillator. Pretty sure I have it tuned. So really what I want to talk about during this stream is the Polyend play. And also announce that, once again, I am announcing that I'm going to be giving away one of the last Sirens, although there will be a few more being built, so yeah, there'll be more Sirens going out into the world. But also let's talk about something really cool. So Platts, huge firmware update. We had just so many of them at Patchworks, and we did this 15% sale at Patchworks, and we blew out the entire inventory, like over 50 Platts. So people are really excited about Eurorack right now, which is awesome because I want to see more Eurorack happening. I want to see more people excited about Eurorack and more people getting into it so that I have more folks to talk to about it and, get excited with. All right, I just want to make sure that any folks that are here hanging out during the stream, if you could just let me know if the levels are good and everything is chill. That would be awesome. You live. Yes, I am, sir. What's up, Bildo? Sounds good here. All right, cool. So there is people here. I don't always know until people start chatting. All right, so let's dive into it. Polyend play. What's the deal? What's the deal with the Polyend play? I was so curious about it. I had the Polyend tracker for a long time. I ultimately ended up letting go of my Polyend tracker, and that's just because I had too many trackers at that point. I had the NerdSeek and the M8 and the Polyend tracker, and it's just like, I don't need that many trackers. And I think the M8 kind of one-ups both of the NerdSeek and the Polyend tracker in terms of its usability and just like immediacy with it. And so I kept the M8 and my NerdSeek because it's one of my favorite Eurorack sequencers. But I let go of the Polyend tracker to make room for other pieces of gear because I try my best not to gear hoard. And but I still do. I do a lot. I have way more stuff than stuff that I use, and I should get rid of it. What's up, Dad? I feel like I look like a dad because I haven't shaved my beard in a while, and my beard is very gristly and black and gray. Hopefully a Richard Gere look, but it could also just be like dude who hasn't taken care of his beard look. I don't know. So the Polyend Play I was stoked about, and I had this misconception about it. And my misconception was that they had these horrible load times for projects. And mind you, the project load time is not good. It is long. But I didn't know why. I was like, why? Because there's so much going on. It's got like tons of reverbs. It has tons of delays. It sounds really good. I don't hear like pops and clicks. I'm not having any problems with it. The performance effects are like immediate. Everything's feeling really snappy. I'm like, well, I'm wondering what the CPU they're using. I do know the Polyend tracker was using a teensy like 3.0, and like for comparison, the M8 uses a teensy 4.1, and the difference between the two is they're worlds apart in terms of their power and what they can do for your sounds and the control and all of that, because teensy 4.1 just kicks the crap out of the teensy line before it. And so this can't be the same teensy. It's probably teensy, I'm guessing, but I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But this can't be the same teensy as the tracker, because it's just snappier than the tracker. But maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't think it is. It's also costs quite a bit more. But anyway, back to this project load time problem, which is something that's like an issue for me. I don't like having load times in my projects. That's why I do all of my songs when I play shows. I put them all in the same projects, and I play through one project. I never have to open a new project, especially with the Octatrack. If you do it with Octatrack goes to silence. You don't want to go to silence during a show. Okay, well anyway, look at how many patterns you can have in your Polyend Play. 128 patterns, each with 4 variations. Variations per track. So, whoa, okay? It's a lot of data. But what it comes down to, I realize, the load time is because the amount of samples that people are putting into their libraries for their songs, because it loads folders. You can load single samples, but it loads folders of samples because the architecture is built around having just tons and tons of samples. And so you load all these samples into it. You use like this chance knob, and you have it switch to different samples, right? Where is it? Random sample, which sounds awesome, and it does it based on the folder's architecture. So if it's like a bunch of hi-hats, it's going to do a bunch of random hi-hats. So it took me a while to understand that. I was kind of giving it shade at first because of the load time, and that was really all there was. It was the load time. I do have some complaints about some stuff, so consider this like a micro review of the Polyend Play. But I'll say that so far, it's dope. It's definitely one of the dopest groove boxes to come out outside of the Elektron ecosystem, because anything with the Elektron sequencer on it, I just immediately love, because I just love that sequencer. So if I get to use that sequencer with whatever they give me, I just fall in love with it. So I'm always comparing it to that sequencer, which I like so much. This sequencer is very similar, but it has its own way of going about that, but that's not where it shines. I know everybody's probably seen content on the Polyend Play, so they probably know what's so cool about it. And what is so cool about it is how quickly it can generate patterns for you, and the variations of patterns, and then you have these great performance effects. Mind you, I have nothing loaded in here right now. We're just going from scratch. But I'll load some stuff up, and let's check it out. Love your channel, bro. Keep it going. Thanks, Bildo. Love your name. Yeah, so let's grab some sound. So you can press down on this encoder, and then you have this really simple menu system. This is the easiest menu system ever. I feel like they're going to add a lot more stuff to it than they have currently in it right now, because it's, for one, it did really well. So people really do like the Polyend Play. That speaks for itself. But it's really simple. There's not much in these systems here. I mean, it's pretty basic. This scale filter thing, this is one of my complaints. So I love that we have scale filter, but the idea that we have scale filtering on a master level, like I can't do it on a track level, that I don't understand. I don't want to filter the scale for every track. I want to still have the ability to make, do chromatic adjustments. So This I would like to see implemented on a per track basis. Otherwise, I can't really use it, even though it is cool. And then our MIDI settings. The MIDI settings are all chill. Everything's cool. We got our CC mappings, all that. I learned the MIDI stuff just before I started the stream. Clock in, external. One thing I would also like to see is when you have the clock set to an external piece of gear, the clock literally just doesn't run. So it's not like listening for another clock. It just doesn't clock. So you have to send it a signal. Maybe some people really like that. I personally like it when the clock still runs. So if the thing isn't sending a clock, I can still do some adjustments on here. But I do think that the Polyend play is meant to be on its own. Like, I think it's like, not on its own, not with other pieces of gear, but I think it's meant to kind of be your master. So more on that. We'll keep talking about that. The transport in and out, you know, MIDI in jack, MIDI out, USB in. Yeah, nothing exciting about there. Everything's fine. Everything's cool with that. It's just the clock that I have a complaint about. And yeah, as far as like the settings in here go, I'm glad I get control over my layout, and I have the light turned all the way down. I turned off the knob preview. So there's this thing, if you have knob preview turned on and you press one of these knobs, right? See how like I'm not pushing down their touch capacitive, so they recognize whatever static voltage is in my body, and you know, they change. At least I think that's how it works. But if you press them twice, it's not doing anything. But if you press them twice, it would move down to the second column, which is the second graphic, or sorry, the second text underneath there, reverb send. So if I wanted to go to delay send, I could hit this twice and it would move me down to delay send. But I was finding that it was just like, sometimes it was just bringing me down there when I didn't want it to. And maybe that's just because I like, you know, have a shaky hand or something, but I just didn't like that. So they give you the option to turn that off. So I have indeed turned that off. What's this? Variation page, separate tracks. Yeah, cool. Oh, cool. So you can have the variations be for all. Wow. I didn't even know that. So you can just do variations of all your tracks at once. So that's pretty nuts. Silent Pity. Yo, the Polyend play ran a live set for me on Halloween. I used your setup for the OT to process the audio. That's literally what I'm doing right now. So I wish I could watch that video and see how that went. I'm not here to watch a shaky hand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I have a shaky hand. I do. It's just that's what happened to my body. It's what happens to your body. Okay, so we look through the menu. Nothing exciting there, but I had opinions. Sorry, I have opinions about even menu systems. My day job is just looking at gear all the time, and so I've gathered a ton of opinions. I don't express them at my job because that's not the right place to do it, but here it is, so now I can talk about this stuff. All right, so let's load some samples. I've been like, you know, I bought this sample pack. I don't know if anybody saw this, but there was a sample pack, samples from Mars. I don't even buy many sample packs. This is really rare, but my coworker, Steven, told me Samples from Mars was having this huge sale. It was literally every single one of their sample packs. It was like massive, like 40 sample packs or something crazy, 60 gigs for $50, $1,000 worth of samples. I was like, screw it. Cool, so I bought them. So there's now and I bought a new SD, 128 gig SD. So this thing has like every drum machine in it, along with like a bajillion sound samples. And now I'm just trying to figure out, how do I want to use this? It's got all the sounds I could ever want in it, but how do I want to use it? So I just need to figure that out. All right, we're gonna go into samples. So you can load, you can look at your sample pool. I don't have anything in it. You can load a sample pack, which is just a separate, so the file structure for sample pack is, if you select a sample pack, it will organize, you want to have the folders in it organized by the kinds of sounds that they are. So you can load a folder and it would just be loading a sample folder, and if it has the name hats in it, there's certain things inside the Polyend play that looks for names of sample folders and then uses that to create patterns based on the names of folders. So a folder full of hats, and you can randomize a whole bunch of hats, which is really cool. And I love that. And the sample pack idea goes up one step higher and says, we'll look at one folder, but we'll also load in all the hats, all the kicks, and the bass lines, and the synths. Now that I think about it, I probably should have brought a bunch of those packs over from load files and folders over to packs. Probably would save me a lot of time. But you have to load a ton of samples. So the workflow is load a bunch of samples, lay them down, and then remove your samples from your project. So thank God you can do that. Otherwise, this thing would just brick. This would be useless. But you can remove your samples, so it actually isn't useless. It's very cool, in fact. I honestly don't really have many negatives. I already kind of went through a few of them right there, and they're like really basic stuff that most people probably wouldn't care about. So, I don't know. Let's load up. Let's go to this deep tech house and go to these drum hits. We'll grab a folder of kicks. Boom. A folder of hats. A folder of snares. Let's go to another one and get maybe some sort of snares and claps. What's hits? Let's listen. Okay. Oh, whoops. Not up here. Okay. Just a bunch of weird sounds. Not interested in that one. Oh, here's my drum machine sample pack. Let's use my drum machine sample pack. Load that folder. Let's load these two. And these. All right, so now we have a whole bunch of drums. What we need is some synth stuff. So we'll get like some, there's one that just has so many analog synth and one-shot samples. Synth one-shots. Here we go. Here's our memory. Starting to get juiced a little bit. It'll probably be at like 30% after this folder loads. So it's loading a ton of samples, and some of them might be really long. I honestly don't even know if it plays stereo samples yet. Oh yeah, I have Databender's toolkit. That's in here. So yeah, I'll check that out. I do have that loaded in the Polyend Play at this very moment. All right, let me switch back over. You guys have been just watching my face. So I'm still loading a folder, but it's loading like a massive amount of samples right now. Okay. But you don't need to load folders. You can just load single samples. So maybe we'll go to the bass one shots and just... I feel like this would be a good one. Load wave. Loading samples. Okay. And we'll load this into this folder. Might as well load that one too. All right, so now we have a whole, just a shit ton of samples. We've used up about half of our memory, so we have plenty of memory left, and we can discard all the samples we don't use, which is gonna be most of the samples. So our memory will go down to just a few percent once we get to that stage. So I guess what's really cool about the Polyend Play is this. Holding shift, this modular system's like totally in my way. Holding shift, I can select like an area, right? So I can use these 3 tracks. We can go over to the fill section here, and I can select beat. And then we go over here and I can say, let's do some techno, because why not? IDM. Techno, okay, Techno 1. And fill it. Okay, so it filled Techno 1, so it found kicks, snares, and hats based on the names of folders. I haven't told it anything. If I hit fill again, it will change it to different samples. So this gets you started, right? It's kind of wild. That's kind of cool. Long press, copy sounds. there's my dog. She's going to bark because that's what she does. That's her special power. Where's the bubbles? What's up, Calderwood? You know I wouldn't leave you hanging. Can you hear them? Wait. Maybe you can hear them. Nah, you can't. Wouldn't that be great? That'd just be the best sound. That dog bark, sample it. Yeah. I wish. I looked at the XO plugin that sound maps your sample library. I liked it, but it was 100. Was too much for the convenience. That is cool. That might be worth $100 if you're working in your DAW all the time, but folks like me are buying hardware all the time. So I'm not like, I rarely buy plugins. Whenever I buy a plugin, it's a mastering plugin. I did download the demo for that. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a percussion drum machine sequencer thing. I totally forget what it's called. Oh, Beat Scholar. That's what it was. That's like the most instrument-like VST I've gotten in a while. Hey, what's up, Richard? Yeah, the dog barking could be a part of it. How long have I had the play? It's a keeper for me such immediacy. The play is a keeper for me as well. I'm not getting rid of the play. In fact, the play could very well replace my Oxy 1, sadly. I really like the Oxy 1, and it does stuff that none of my other pieces of gear do, like intelligent voicing, and you know, it's battery powered with 8 CVN gates. Like it can just do everything. But the UX on it, I have a hard time with. It's just like part of it's just not for me, that UX. But I haven't sold it yet. I haven't put it up for sale. It's here. It's powered on. It's behind me. It's connected to the Prophet 5, which is what I've been using it for. It's like getting chord samples out of the Prophet 5. Because I'm not a great keys player. I'm a guitar player, and I can, you know, I can shred decently well on my guitar, but not on the Prophet 5. I do love to try. Damn right, I do love to try. Oh yeah, also check this out. Look, they made Synth Toys made this for the TX6. Fits quite well. Kind of wish their logo wasn't on it, but you know. Whatever. Throw a sticker on it. Okay, so that's the magic power, right? Generates patterns really fast. And then you have the performance stuff. Honestly, I kind of just want to, like, my thought for it at first, when I first got it, was like, make beats, use these cool effects, sample them into the Octatrack, because I can sample them in stereo over here and just create a bunch of different stems. And that may be what I do with it. I really do wish we had scales per track for sequencing, because plugging in the sequence is the same as plugging notes in on the Digitact and all, but or Syntact or Octatrack. But I just want that in all my gear. I just want to be able to hit a button and go, bam. I might have put some notes in that weren't right as I was just fiddling, and it's going to put them on the right scale. But let's check out some melodic samples. So I guess I could just put them. I'm gonna put them down here, I think, in this track. And so all I have to do is hit the sample button here, and we can go over to its folder, and I can either use this one, or I could use that same sample. Oh yeah, I put the bass stuff in there, so here we go. All right, I'm gonna use that one and then I'll just shorten it. Hey. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to adjust how this works. I'm selecting the whole track when I hit this button right here. So I do like this. This is my mini EZBOT review of the Polyend Play with very little experience with it. I think I know every feature. Maybe I'm missing some, but I think I know most every feature. So you can select tracks here. You can select your variation here. This brings up your variations. We don't have any variations, we just have the one. And then you can mute or solo. actually the other way around. You can mute or solo. You can mute and solo. And that's interesting. And then, so if I highlight this, I'm gonna make adjustments to this whole row, or I can make some like relative adjustments too. But it seems like you can make relative adjustments and then it will snap to just changing all of the sounds to that. So I want this to be shorter. This is one of the weirder things to me right now, is you really have to adjust your sample end. I don't know how the, and then also your fade out is actually, you go up. I do like the live audition. That is really cool. So that part, that just feels backwards to me, even though I think it works fine and it's not like getting in the way. I would like a view of a waveform, of my waveform. It'd be cool if this showed you the actual waveforms, and maybe that's just like too much on the CPU, because some of the waveforms are really long. I know the Octatrack has a hard time showing waveforms all the time because of the size of because of the size of the files that you can load. So I get it. It's not a MacBook right here, but that part would be cool. So we have that sound now, and now all the sounds will be like that. So let's like just make sure they're not on the kick. But let's just hear it now. That's kind of cool, even though I didn't intend it to be that way. But I could copy this one, so I can go Shift, go like this, hit copy. This has undo. I do love that. It has undo and it has copy and paste, and it works very intuitively and it works really well. And you can just like highlight segments. I think this is so cool. You can just go like this and just grab a segment like that. Like these tracks have no relationship with each other because that's not how this thing works. It's just this grid. I don't know. I really like that part. So I copied that. I can go like this and go Shift, Paste, Shift, Paste, Shift, Paste, Shift, Paste, Shift, Paste. And it should be all the same note now. And something else I don't know, I don't quite understand. This is where I still need to read a little bit more in the manual. Maybe somebody in the chat will know this, but what I want to know is, how do the envelopes work in here? So there's an attack decay envelope for our amplifier on our samples on a per note basis. You can't make your sample length range longer. I don't know. Maybe you can't. I don't know how to do that. There's not a knob for it. It's not in the settings. And I haven't found a shift function. So as far as I know, you can't say play for this many steps. You can have your sample length. So that part I find a little strange. I don't understand yet, and maybe there's more to it. And maybe I don't need to. Maybe you don't need that for this style of workflow. So, but I don't understand that part. But also I want to know this filter cutoff. So you can go high pass one direction, you can go low pass another, and then you have a resonance, right? An emphasis of the cutoff point. That's what resonance is. And it does kind of sound like it's getting an envelope. So I wonder, is the resonance getting a 100% value of the envelope from the amplifier's envelope? Is it getting anything at all? Is there an envelope being sent to the filter cutoff? Is that something I can do? Do I get to sound design with my filter? And as far as I know so far, it seems as though I can't, or I can't really tell. So that's stuff that I'm not used to that. I'm used to, the Elektron stuff where I can literally just grab whatever I want, do whatever I want. But the Elektron workflow doesn't, this sequencer doesn't come close to what this one does. They both do, they're so different, which I finally am very excited about. Something else. What I mean is I'm finally excited about something else that sequences in a different way than the Elektron sequencer does. And the last time I was excited about a sequencer like that was the Deluge, and the Deluge was basically just a MIDI keyboard roll, and it looks very similar to this. I mean, this is clearly kind of a little bit of a ripoff of the Deluge, and but the Deluge is definitely different. It's got a polyphonic synthesizer in it. It can sample, and it's everything about it's in stereo. It does multi-samples. It does crazy stuff. But I don't think it generates patterns for you based on sounds in your folder structure, which is very unique to this. Also, this is very sleek. I do like it. And the touch capacitive encoders is cool. All right, so we have like a little silly sequence going. Let's highlight this and go. There's not much, there's like nothing special happening here. So let's go ahead and just like, let's just get like a chord in here. We'll highlight this row. We'll get, we're already in the right folder. I like that, that's cool. Okay. Long press. Let's just make it go like, I guess we could use the fill function. Let's see. What type do we want? Let's go Euclidean. We don't need that many events. Come on now. Fill. Okay. Back to the same one, but I think I just want to make it shorter. Okay. Oh, damn it. I did not mean to highlight that one too. Double press it, deletes it. That I learned on my own. No manual needed for that. Okay, here we go. There's a whole bunch of effects, tons of reverbs, tons of delays to choose from. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to add some sort of chorus or flanger, considering they have an EQ and they have a limiter and they have all the tools to build things like a chorus. And they do have some effects that kind of resemble like pitch shifting and stuff. Like, let's highlight all of these. get a little kooky sometimes. Actually, let's do something. So one of the things the Polyend tracker had that this doesn't have in terms of its performance effects is that on the Polyend tracker, you did have the option to hold down one of the nodes. And then, well, maybe that's what this does. What does this do? I don't even know what this does. So I can change to pattern variations in the performance effects? Oh, it's just the same thing. Okay, cool. All right, didn't know that. But one of the things you could do in the Polyend tracker is that you could hold down this blank pad that was a reference to whatever effect you had set up, and you could turn that big old knob it had on it, and you could slowly dial in a high pass or low pass filter, which is something that I think is really important. It's like, it's cool to be able to go, or we can step it down. Which is cool, much better than not having it, of course. But I would like to be able to just like hold it and like, you can't. You can't, right? No, okay. Well, whatever. That's just like a, you know, maybe Polyend will watch this and be like, hey, these are good ideas. Nice work, Matt. Let's check out what's going on. Love how you can randomly select samples from folders or generate sequences with all those samples. That's what I like about it too. That's what I really, really love about it. That's the best part. Well, besides that, it sounds really good and it has all those cool reverbs and delays. There's some really cool stuff about it. I think it's like, it's a really great companion machine to just like, oh, you need a drum machine? It's like, oh, this can be any drum machine and it can make patterns for you faster than any other machine. There is 100% not a piece of hardware out right now that can generate a pattern for you like this can, as fast as this can. That's just a fact. I play with gear all day. I don't know anything that can do that other than maybe Eurorack, but you're still in Eurorack, so it's still slow. But it's dope. It's dope. So if I want to add like a chord sample, which we don't have, right? Let's get a chord sample in here. So I'm gonna go back into my samples, load files. Whoa, let's find something. I do wish there's like is there a way to stop sample playback? I don't know. It seems like it just plays. Like if you hit a sample, it goes. That's something I would like to see. Let's check out these Kawaii Dreams. Keys? No. Pads. Analog strings. Here's where I can see kind of like some lag. I'm scrolling around here. See, listen how long this sample is? Like it goes forever. I can't stop. I just want it to stop. Is there a way to make it stop? Can someone tell me? Do they own one? Can they tell me how to make the sample stop? Let's see. This thing's crazy mind blown, yeah. Always impressed at your level of synergy with so many different pieces of hardware. Thanks, Derek. Oh, what's up, dude? Hey, good to see you again. We were just hanging out. Tips for keeping yourself engaged with music making? Tend to find that motivation for making music comes and goes. Totally agree with that. That's how it is for me too. You know, it's a great way to get yourself motivated to making music? Stream. See if you can get some people to hang out with you. It's I don't know about you, but I always love making music with people. Even if I'm the only one making the music, at least there's folks there, you know? I think that's really helpful. Music tech is an amazing hobby though. Yeah, totally agree. Okay, we're looking for a chord sample. Trying to distract me with your friendship and your kindness when all we want is chord samples? Load files and folders. Take me to the chords, please. are any of these chords? Dreamlike? Well, nope. Oops. It's got the same file structure thing as the Dig Attack does, where you have to go. You hear that? That's my cell phone. I swear to God, one of these is just like chords. Maybe it's this? Let's check out these vinyl synths. Chords. Ooh. So we can hit load wave, load it into synth one-shots. That's how you get samples into folders. I was very confused by that before. So let's put one of these down here. Samples. There it is. That was a cool sound as it moved through. I do have another thing to say. Wait, so I didn't hear it. I don't have it muted. Oh. Here's your keyboard. I have it in a different layout, so it shows a few octaves. Here we go. Is it this? I wish I could okay, I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm talking about. I wish I could audition a row. Oh yeah, I can solo it. Let's see. Okay, that's how I could audition a row. No complaint there. There was something else I really wanted the Polyend play to be able to do. Oh, so the Polyend play. I don't know if there's stuff on the Polyend play I'm not supposed to talk about, because I am beta testing some stuff right now. Oh, I can't remember. I need to look. I don't know. Shoot. I really want to talk about things, everything. I want to talk about all the things. Let me check. Oh boy, oh boy. Beep, beep, beep. It's my phone doing dumb stuff. All right. Looking. That's not it. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm figuring this out. I want to talk about all the things. Okay. All right. Nope, I can talk about what I wanted to talk about. I do know what I can't, so that's cool. All right. What I can talk about is that you can generate stems, right? So this thing can generate stems, and that's cool. Export. Current pattern master, current pattern stems, chain master, chain stems. So it does pattern chaining, so you can build songs in here. The song mode in here is actually probably more intuitive than even the Elektron song mode, which is so easy to use and fun to use. I think this one is probably more intuitive. I do think it has like a looping function. I haven't learned everything. I haven't learned it all. I wish I had, but I've only had it, really, I've only used it for a few hours. But anyway, the first thing I tried to do with the Polyend play was I made a pattern. It was like mostly just kick drums, right? Just pitched up kick drums. I ran it through these performance effects, particularly one of these delays. Get out of here. I was like, or actually we could solo with the kick. So it had different pitches for the kicks. It was something like that. It sounded a little bit car plus strong, a little bit like it's been just stereoized, like super hard. And I was like, ooh, I know what I want to do. I want to, because it can't sample, but it can export stems. And if you export the stems, you can go into your file folder and reload your stems. So essentially you can bounce down your tracks in the Polyend Play and then play them on one track, giving you tracks back for live performance. Pretty dope, right? So that opens up a lot of territory for you. However, this is something I immediately emailed Mitch, who used to work at Empress, is now at Polyend. I emailed Mitch and I said, Mitch, two things. One, I want to loop my samples, because there's not sample looping, because I want to do single cycle waveforms on here and have it make synth voices. Like I want to be able to do some synthesis. And then two, I also want to be able to export my live performance sounds. Like as this is, if I chose to export and I'm in the performance mode, I want the stems to export what was happening in the performance mode. Like why wouldn't it just be a summing of the master? That's what I was thinking at least. That's not the case. That's not the case. And I want it. So we're hopefully we'll get that in the Polyend Play. I don't know. I honestly haven't gotten a response because it was over this weekend and everybody's not answering work emails. But I think that would be cool. So I think you've heard all the little things that I want in it. And at the same time, I'm also talking about all the super dope things that it can do, because it does a lot. I also have this running into an MRCC, which is the like MIDI terminal for like a giant studio even. It's way bigger than I need in my small studio. Conductive Labs released a smaller version of the MRCC, and I honestly maybe will sell this big version and pick up the smaller one. The only problem with the small one is it doesn't have USB ports, and this one does. But these USB ports are a little janktified, so they're like, sometimes they just freeze up. Maybe it needs a new firmware update. Anyway, this is being powered by my MRCC's USB jacks, so it's getting MIDI and powering this. So this controls or sends MIDI to my entire studio right now. Oh, thanks, Alex. Appreciate the tip. The tip. I like it. Oh, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. Anyhow, so it's sequencing stuff. So I can go over to the MIDI side here, get out of performance mode, go over to MIDI. So shift plus patterns takes you between MIDI and audio tracks. So 8 tracks MIDI, 8 tracks audio, just like the Digitact. So it took a lot of stuff from the Digitact and put it in here. And I asked one of my YouTuber friends, I don't want to put him on the spot, but he's a much bigger YouTuber than I, and asked him which one he would rather have if he had to pick between the Polyend Play and the Digitact. And he said the Polyend Play, and that's kind of why it's in front of me now, is because of that comment. I was like, what, really? Like, I love my Digitact, but of course you can have both, you know, God willing. Anyhow, so let's check this out. So on the MIDI side of stuff, there's a lot going on. You hit note, we can change the note. We have pitch bend down here. Sample is where you do program changes. So it can do program changes, which is dope. So we can do program changes to like the Prophet 5, which does have snappy program changes. There isn't delays on program change. So jack channels going out to 1. And then we also have on sample start menu, we have chords. I love this. And it's not just any chords, it's most the chords that you would want. It even has 11ths, 13ths, 9 11ths and 13ths. So like you don't always see 9 11ths and 13ths in chord generator stuff because it's usually just some sort of bonus thing that they added. But there is, if I could only have one, Digitact or Octatrack. Oh, don't even go there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like I don't know. Probably the Digitact, I think. Like if it was, because I like to write songs, The Octatrack is such a utility that I can't use anything without it. Like, it's always here. It's always here. It's always going to be here. I have one at my desk at work. I use it as my mixer and my drum machine when I need it. Like, it just does everything. But the Digitact has quantized scaled keyboards with keyboard fold, super fast sampling, overbridge, sounds better. The effects on it, well, the 2 effects that you get are awesome. And the workflow is super fast and it's smaller and just, I don't know. There's something about it that I really love in terms of just writing music. So probably the Digitact, but if I had 2 devices, it would be Digitact and the Octatrack. Right now we're gonna see how good and the song mode on the Digitact. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, for sure. Song mode's, it's the same song mode. It's actually a weaker song mode than the Octatrack song mode. This is a better song mode than this one. The only feature this one has that's better than what this one has is that you can just use 2-button press. It's so fast to loop your current pattern. That's dope. That's so dope. It's so useful. So like you can have your whole song set up and then have a section where you're like, oh, this is my section for looping and for tweaking parameters. So like, especially if you're doing modular stuff, you're letting it just kind of play through patterns. And then all of a sudden you can have it loop and just tweak and tweak and tweak. And then just continue on and carry on with your song. You can do loop on the Octatrack, but you have to designate that ahead of time. It's not something you throw in during a performance. Like, that's just not how it would work. It would be very convoluted to do that. It would screw up your arrangement, most likely. But it is possible, but I honestly don't recommend it. Digicat jealously lurking off the edge of the screen. Yeah. Meanwhile, if I take this out too, what's up, Eric? Good to see you. You can see that there's a stack of Elektron boxes over here that are also jealously hanging out. They've been kind of just jealously hanging out like this for a little while because I've been playing with my modular and stuff so much lately. I've just been playing around a lot more. There's been less songwriting going on, but more just like playful music exploring. And that's really welcomed into my life because it means I'm having fun. You know, songwriting is really fun, but sometimes songwriting is a job, it's work. Anyway, back to this MIDI thing. So I should, let's see. View. I want to, oh, wait. I want to make sure. We can't hear that. Let me send it to the bus. Come on. Where is it going to? Not to my headphones. Oh, not to my headphones. Y'all could probably hear it, I just couldn't. All right, so this, not doing what I want. Let me see. Make sure I have this set up on the right stuff here. So we're in the MIDI section. Okay. Make sure all this stuff is good. Yeah, I guess that shouldn't matter anyway. All right, let's see if the MRCC is doing its thing. Out. No? Oh yeah, it's USB 1, that's why. Apparently that's not why. Well, what did I do? It's probably my MRCC. Because it should be. There's something about the MRCC and USB that it just struggles sometimes. It's on the struggle bus. Is it muted or something? No? No, that won't do anything. Well, we have chance, randomize, CC messages, velocity. Oh, look, note length. That's a parameter that I'm wanting on the audio side. I've been looking for. Play mode, that's cool. More CC controls, tons of CC controls. So this is amazing MIDI sequencer. It's definitely not the reason why I can't hear my Prophet 5. I can't hear my Prophet 5 because my MIDI controller, I'm pretty sure needs to be firmware updated and reset because it's been having some issues for sure. Which is a bummer because I was just using it just before I started the stream. Yeah, it's definitely not making any sound. Yeah. Okay. Well, doesn't matter. So that's the MIDI side. Awesome MIDI sequencer. Don't get to demonstrate that today because we don't have it set up to MIDI sequence anything. So anyway, let's go back over to the audio side here. Oh, wait a second. I had something soloed. Does that mean the MIDI sequencer wouldn't work? It did! It does! It was the solo. The solo cancels the MIDI controller. Did not see that coming. But it makes sense, because why would I want to hear that when I'm trying to solo a track? Cool. All right. You win this one, Polyend. All right, so check us out. This is so dope. All right, now I'm way happier. Chord mode. Stuck note. Stuck note. Damn it. Yeah, that fixed it. Try a softer patch. I had one I really liked earlier. I know you guys can't hear it right now. For whatever reason. Oh yeah. Wait. I could make it so you can hear it. I can make it so you can hear it. Allow me to do my magic. Let's add an audio input. We'll call it Prophet 5. Prophet 5. Okay, make source visible. The name is already in use. I already have one called Prophet 5. What is my dog doing? All right, and it's on channel 11 and 12, 9 and 10, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Let me see. Nope, not that one. 7 and 8. There it is. Now you should be able to hear it. You can hear it, right? Yeah. So that's the Prophet 5. It's the best sounding synthesizer on the freaking planet. Literally no effects on it. None. Where do I have it running to? I need to send... Is it running into my summing mixer? No? Nah, it must not be. Anyway. The amount of live troubleshooting makes me nostalgic for IRL friend jams. Yeah, I know what you mean. Fortunately, these live troubleshooting sessions do go by fairly quickly because I do it so often that I typically can find it, you know, before I lose my mind. But yeah, they happen. I enjoy having the audience here while I'm troubleshooting. I don't mind it. I don't need to look like I know everything. You can't know everything. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everybody's saying, I can't hear the Prophet. And it took me a while to figure that out, sorry. It took me a while to figure out you couldn't even hear it. I had to turn that up. But anyway, now we have Prophet, so cool. That right there if we want, but we have to do note length. Damn it. Well, velocity is not doing anything to that. And I don't want to look up whatever CC message needs to be looked up. So we're not going to sequence it right now because I'm not going digging for CC messages. But you can hear how cool it would be. I love it. I love it. Anyway, let's go back over here. So one thing I think is really cool is this whole highlighting thing. So there's a bunch of like undo stuff. Whoops, we gotta go. Let's go like this. Like we can alter this and then undo it. So as you can see, this blue section I've now highlighted in my pattern. We could just adjust like all sorts of stuff. We can make it do some ratcheting on this. I dig that. I do wish that I was clocking this from the Octatrack. Let's hear how it sounds when I add the siren. Siren is coming in on... Okay, cool. So we could do some like randomization. Let's add some more drum sounds. Right now we're just playing with 16 steps of a grid. Like we could go longer. Hold shift. Let's make this another. It's using a different kick drum. Hang on, let's go back here. Long press. Okay. Press. Change these chords. Let's just at least like go a fifth down or something. want this one to go in reverse, you have to make the start before, after this, the end. There it was. It's already at 92 for that? I'm not gonna lie, I think this is cool. It's super interesting. I wouldn't have made a sequence like this if I couldn't just select like weird moments. Like, let's do it again. Like randomize. If I like it, you hit save. Cool. Wow, okay. I really do like the Polyend play. I have no intention of getting rid of it. This is a unique workflow. This is really interesting. This is the furthest I've ever gotten with it, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I just got this thing. And I'm really happy about it. It's really dope. Wow, cool. The only thing is, if they would let me have filters and where are my filter envelopes? Where are my LFOs? Where is my modulation? I want modulation. I want modulation and I want more, I want lots of it. On the Digitact, we have 2 LFOs and then we have an envelope for our amplifier and an envelope for our filter. We have one envelope, and I don't even know how it really works. It just goes to the amplifier. I don't understand the filter cutoff resonance thing yet. I don't know, it's a DJ thing, I guess. Let's see. So I guess maybe because I'm thinking about it wrong. So maybe we don't, do it per step so much because I don't know, seems like there's not as much value there, but maybe we just highlight tracks and we go Okay, we were able to completely undo all those moves. I wonder if I had hit save, if it would have baked that in, and then maybe I couldn't have done any undos at that point. I think there's 16 levels of undo, which is a lot, which is awesome. There's only one level of undo on the Digitact, and it's a temporary save. So that's not even something you get in an Elektron box. You don't even get undo. So I don't know how many times, countless times, I've screwed stuff over permanently in like an Elektron box. Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. All right, let me check in with the chat here. Once again, this is episode 21 of Elektron Talk. Technically, really 22. The secret episode, or whatever, is on my Patreon only. But there's nothing special. You don't need to subscribe just to watch that. But we've been doing this a lot. 21 episodes, 2 hours apiece each time. We got a lot of this stuff. All right, let's go check it out. There's a Pagliacci's down the street. All right. Zoya pedal. Zoya is cool. Yeah, we have a... Speaking of Zoya, this is how I move the camera now. We have a Euroboro in my main modular case. Oops. I actually intend to take my vocoder out of my main case, put it back in the vocal skiff, because I think I'll get more use that way. And put Platts in here, because Platts and Mavis are the best Eurorack voices in the universe. They're both so easy to use, and they both sound amazing. You can get all the sounds you need for making super high-quality, professional, and fun sounds. They're fun modules to interact with. They're just awesome. Mavis analog stays in tune. It's just too good. Too good. Good stuff. Standalone Platt. I know you can get Platts, and I'm sure the Microfreak is going to end up with all the Platts goodies in it eventually. People are going to be porting Platts engines all over the place. Because if you haven't heard them yet, they sound really great. The new ones are really awesome. Like, they're not the same old thing. They are new engines. And then you have the 3 banks of DX7. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Thank you, Emily. Okay, Syntac was just on sale for $250 off in the US. I'm sure it'll go on sale again near Christmas. I don't know about that, Darrow. Because the Syntac sale was a big deal, and I'm not sure if they're doing a second Syntac sale. That was kind of Elektron was doing these massive sales, and they did them like they were just laying them on one after the other, and I honestly don't think they're doing another Syntax sale. I can't say that for sure, so but I wouldn't count on it. Let me just put it that way. But that would be a really $250 off is a really good deal. That's a really, really good deal, but I don't see it happening again. You bought your Diggy used for $450 GBP a couple years ago. I got the Digitact brand new for $5.99 from the Elektron website. Or no, I got it from Third Wave, little music store out in the Midwest. Anyway, that's how much they were when they were first introduced. They were so affordable. Now everything is $800. Go try and buy a house right now. That's good fun. Isaac Anthony, my MC707 and OT can drone, but they aren't good at it. Yeah, the OT is not a good drone, that's for sure. The 707 probably does just a fine job. I really wish that I had more experience with the 707. Every time I try and use that thing, it just like melts my brain. It's just the Roland workflow is so much different from the way that I imagine things work. And so I have a hard time with that. Oh boy. No drone app, but give Pure Acid and a go. Fave app ever. Pure Acid, is that an app? Yeah. I'm not going to buy a Polyend tracker even though it looks amazing. Polyend tracker or Polyend play? If you're gonna buy a tracker, I recommend the Dirty Wave M8. I don't want to push people away from Polyend. I really like Polyend. I like the people at Polyend. I like their employees. I have great interactions with them. I love Mitch, super nice guy. And I think Jack from Polyend, or Jasic, I believe, or however you say it. Super nice guy, very responsive to emails. I beta tested the Polyend tracker firmware forever. Was one of the first Polyend tracker owners. Not one of the first, because the first were the OG beta testers, but I was super excited. My point is that I was really excited about it, and I got one the moment that I could. I work at a synth shop, and I didn't even buy it through the synth shop. I bought it through Polyend, because I wanted to make sure I had one. Anyhow, this thing I think is, so this doesn't, like, this does different things than the Polyend tracker. It does similar things to the Polyend tracker. So the Polyend tracker had all those fill modes too. So you could fill it all up just like this, but it didn't do this beat folder thing. But it did have envelopes and it did have all this other stuff, but I just didn't vibe on its workflow as much. This I do. This I find really exciting. And I think that running this, I just noticed this slice is looping. Stop it. Running this into like an Octatrack, like I've been doing, like this whole experience right here. This is awesome. Let's combine these performance effects. So this is what I would do. All right. I just hit stop on the Octatrack and then the Dig Attack and not the Polyend play because I'm so used to hitting stop on these machines. So this is it. This is where I'm gonna have to build a workflow around this. Here's my thoughts. Octatrack performance mixer template, 100%. I am working on the Techno template. I haven't started building the Techno template physically. I have been brainstorming what I'm doing with it, and I think I have an idea. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm scope creeping super hard. What I think is a super dope idea, Polyend play performance template on the Octatrack, or just using your Octatrack as a performance mixer. Do whatever you want. You don't need to use my shit. But performance effects with the Octatrack, resampling, live resampling, being able to transition from pattern to pattern, Octatrack duties. Drums, 100% over here. Instant patterns, tons of variations. Like, you're never gonna be playing the same. You could literally play one song and just have like tons of different patterns, variations for each one of the voices in your pattern, which is wild. So you'll just never get bored. So this is a Techno God box. Okay, so we have our Techno God box. It can do chord samples. It can do vocal samples for us. You'd have to pre-record them. I don't like that part, but you still can. I do think it would be cool if you could load samples over the USB-C. Anyway, samples, drums and stuff, basically Dig Attack duty, but over on this side, we either have a small modular skiff with some synthesis, like we're doing now, or we use something like a Lyra 8, and we get something really ethereal and wild. Run that into the other inputs on the Octatrack, have access to like sidechain pumping over here. This does sidechain pumping too. So you could load a drone in here and use the limiter on here and it will sidechain pump. So it has that. It has built-in sidechain pumping. That's cool. We can also do it over here though. I like the control of the sidechain pumping on my Octatrack versus this. Even though it's fixed and this will literally this will actually sidechain. This is mimicking sidechain with envelope depth, but this is actual sidechain. So it'll use the limiter and duck the sound. So that's cool. I haven't tried it yet. I honestly don't really trust. I don't trust anything other than a computer to do it. So we'll see. I'll try it out later. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the stream right now. But auxiliary synthesizers, Maybe like a DB01, something that can do some fat bass lines that has a sub bass like the DB01 does. So I love the DB01 because I have Polybox filter, Sawtooth, square wave, detune. Anyway, run that through some effects. That goes into here. So Lyra, DB01, Polyend play, Octatrack, and maybe something for your voice running into like some sort of delay and reverb. Like a Spectralis or something. I think that has both delay and reverb in it. Or I guess you could just use one of the, like the voice boxes from TC Electronic, the Perform VE or something like that. That is a killer live improvising setup. That's just a killer live setup. This thing never runs out of sounds, never runs out of new samples to play, never runs out of patterns, and you can just make them up on the spot. Plus it has all these performance effects, but then you can resample them into the Octatrack live. So you can do this crazy stuff and then resample it, which is pretty wild. So I think that's really cool. I'm hearing something weird right now. Oh, I know what it is. It's my TV. So I think that's a really cool idea. Like a really great idea. Okay, I am going to turn the television off and I'm gonna run to the restroom super fast. So I'm just going to have this cool graphic play for you really fast. Okay. That's about as fast as it gets. Oh, cool. I spilt a little bit. Good golly. We're doing it all live. You shouldn't have drinks on your table. Don't do it. Okay. And we're back. Dog Bork. MC7 scatter effects into OT is how I roll. Similar situation to what I'm doing right now. Okay, cool. Isaac's always got some good ideas. That's for sure. Yup, it's a barking TV dog. It was, actually. Alright, I'm gonna listen to my pattern again. I'm not even clocking things on the OT, we're just playing it. I went on a tangent, on a pretty hard tangent there about my idea for a setup. It could really just be like Drone Oscillator. I don't have any way of plugging in a new pitch, so that's like why I haven't been playing with it that much. We could just kind of play with this, like, because it's so good. Let's do some modulation. Slower modulation. Density. Whoops. Let's check out nearest static voltage. Super cool. Modulate some phase modulation. So that should be very stereo. So this is the Siren, this is the chord oscillator. This thing has got some ridiculous hype about it because the developer is anonymous, and the developer has to remain anonymous. There's nothing I can do about it. But I do know the developer, it's just the way it is. But I do have a fresh Siren. I will be giving away, I meant to actually give it away this weekend, but I'm not gonna just give it away today. I'm gonna give it away and let enough people know that it's gonna happen, because there's probably people who are like really wanted one that weren't able to get one, so I'm gonna give them the opportunity to get one. And then I'm gonna have about 5 of them for sale that I'm gonna sell through the Modbang shop. So these cables, little ad, Modbang. This is my cable company. I have a bunch of new cables coming. They are on their way here. New design by me. These are designed by me too, but they're newly designed. And I put a lot of time and I sunk a lot of my soul into making these cables really cool. Same color scheme, but they're gonna be slightly different in terms of the heads. And I also decided, you know what I thought would be cool? I'm like considering the economic situation, and everybody's feeling a little uncomfortable spending money right now, and I get it. So am I. I have like not been spending much money on music gear, and I'm being frugal with groceries, and just literally every chance I get to like skim a couple bucks off stuff, I am. You know, I'm using the credit card that gives me more money back. Like I'm paying attention to that, thinking about that ahead of time. I was like, what if I make one of my cables really like as affordable as I possibly can? So I took my new cable design, my new straight plug heads, and I only got 6, 12s, and 18s, but those are the lengths that I think are the most important for people who are like starting out in modular. And I designed completely transparent. They don't glow in the dark. So I just removed that so that I didn't have to put any phosphorus in them, so it doesn't cost any money for, because it costs money to put phosphorus in the cables. And so they're a lot cheaper for me to develop, so I'm gonna sell them for a lot cheaper. And try my best to get these fully transparent, just clear, skinny head patch cables, super duper skinny, for people who are, trying to save a couple bucks. They'll be able to buy a pack of cables that are actually that are really nice and really cool, not just like simple like black market cables that are just, they work, they do what they're supposed to do, but there's nothing like special about them. These will be fully transparent, which is very cool, and have the logo and the design Anyway, I'm tooting the horn of Modbang because I love my cable company, and I'm excited about this idea. The idea of selling, like trying to make a very affordable cable. So I already think that they're a fine deal as much as they cost now, but I think it'll be really cool when I mark the other ones down a couple bucks versus the other stuff. So look forward to that. That'll probably be like late January, maybe February when the cheap ones come, but the new design will hopefully be here early January, end of this month, which I'm stoked about. So check out modbang.com. Also, when you use, while I'm just advertising myself and the stuff that I do, my life honestly couldn't function the way it functions if I didn't, do these things and mention these things to people. But if you're interested in learning, I think I honestly could probably teach you how to use this thing, even though I don't think it's that hard to use. But if you're interested in learning modular synthesis, the Elektron Octatrack, if you want to learn the Octatrack like a pro, or any of the other Elektron boxes like inside and out, I'm available. I teach online lessons, and they're great. I have reviews on my website. I've never had a bad review. So if you're interested in getting lessons, visit EZBOT.live and check it out because they're super fun. I know somebody in the chat had done a lesson with me earlier today, and Darrow, and we had a great time. And anyhow, it's a great way to step up your game, get some new ideas, but also if you want to learn this stuff, it's hard to learn. It takes a really long time. It took me years and years and years. So if you want to get a head start, it's really helpful. But anyhow, now that I've thoroughly have really explored the Polyend play, there's only a few things I haven't touched on, and there's a feature coming to Polyend play that's going to be exciting for people who have the Polyend play, and it will probably draw in a lot of people that don't have the Polyend play that I can't talk about. But it's a cool feature, and I think it's gonna, it'll be coming soon. But I think I like it quite a bit. I give the Dig Attack like a 9 out of 10. Maybe I give the Dig Attack like a 10 out of 10. Maybe. Because it's like one of my favorites. I think I give the Polyend play like, it's pretty close to around that. I'd say like 8 out of 10. It's missing some stuff I really wanted to have. But I give it like an 8 out of 10. And if this is the workflow for you, I would say, if you like what we did here, like this is dope. This is super dope. I really like the sound of this pattern. That's definitely stuff I could not do in my Elektron boxes. At least not easily. Being able to edit multiple tracks at the same time and do variations of multiple tracks at the same time is not something you can do on Elektron except for with Control-All, but Control-All sucks. The only thing Control-All is really good at is live performance, and you're really only able to use it on a couple parameters, unless you're on the Digatone. Really. The Digatone is the one that has the most Control-All parameters that you can use. On the Dig Attack, you barely really can. Like, you can play with the pitch, you're destroying the pitch every time. So you have to use it in the same way. It's always like a build-up, some sort of drop. But you can use it on the filter cutoff, but it's gonna be not working on some of the steps because you've locked the filter cutoff. So then again, it's not gonna work there. Like, my point is that it's not very performable compared to this or an Octatrack, of course. But this is just... I got good stuff to say about it. I'm gonna make some content, like some real content where I like do some, post-production and all that, and mastering of the audio of the Polyend play. Maybe like some sort of techno performance. I don't know, but I think that would be a lot of fun. I do think that it's. I think it might be worth the money, which is really hard to say considering it's not cheap. I think they're $7.99, but I think if you bought this for $7.99, then you would have everything you need to go and make music and to make cool music, which I really like. I'm kind of curious. So if we go to, I'm gonna go ahead and save this project because it sounds pretty decent. Save project. Wait, save. Oh, now I name it. This keyboard convention thing where you type on the keypad, I do prefer the Elektron way. It's way faster than this. But we'll call this ET for Elektron Talk 21. So E. Well, that's not an E. E. Where I want caps. Caps lock. Damn it. ET space 21. Confirm. So here it is saving the project. I don't know how the saving project does. I doubt it's gathering the samples. It's just remembering where they are in its folders. This is taking a while. Can it play music while it's saving? No. Let's see. Let's see if it can play music while it saves. I guess it's already, since it's already saved, it knows it's already saved it in its current state. I can't save it again, so we'd have to make an adjustment. Let's just throw down another note. Okay. Play, file, save. Okay, so it can't save. It was a really short save, though. So it can't play music while it saves. That's something the Digitact, Syntact, and Digatone can do. Not the Octatrack, though. Octatrack can't do that. But that's okay. It's not like a deal. It's not like a big deal. Let's get real. But I am just like, this is how deep my brain goes on this stuff. I want to know all of these things. So now let's bounce down some stems or something. Let's see what happens. Let's try and use the scale. If we go to a minor scale in C, so we just transposed the whole project to F sharp minor. Out of that just by turning it off. That's cool. I see that as like it could be a performance effect. You could have your whole sequence and then set up your key that you want to transpose it to and then engage it. You could use your Octatrack and transition to that transposition. You could transition to the transposition. Transition to the transposition. It's like almost poetic, but not quite. Oh boy, oh boy. Gotta bounce, been watching. Okay, later, Jordan. George, now Liam and the other YouTubers love the Polyend just because the boss EZBOT is using it and loving it. What? Who are the other YouTubers? I need to figure out who those guys are. I do love it. I do love it. I love how it feels. I love its build quality. I honestly don't like the, okay, I don't dislike it. I'm weary of it. Because if I'm touching this one, what the, did you hear that? Oh, it's because I adjusted it. Okay, so like one of the things I'm worried about is that reaching over to like adjust this, you just like can bump that and it will highlight that parameter. And maybe you're adjusting it over here and you're accidentally adjusting the wrong one. They're all called sample. So it's like easy to screw that up. I'm nitpicking right now. Come on, I'm being real. I'm being very nitpicky. I just did that to the whole thing. I had the whole thing highlighted. Let's see. Yeah, I totally just wonked this whole thing. So let's undo. 16 levels of undo. That's real special. That's pretty dope. That's really dope. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like the Polyend play? I do. Kev Human. I use a hardware compressor for side chaining, have a circuit tracks that does it too, but rather use the DBX. Yeah, I feel that. I would like that too. Apps are so cheap compared to Windows and OS X plugins. 100%. 100. Okay, so I've never made a variation, and I know that there is, that you can do variation per all tracks. So now I've set it up for all tracks variation. Instead of adjusting the variation of just one pattern, now we're going to adjust all tracks variations. So I wonder if I go to, can you copy patterns? Do I just go, oh, you do? Wait, what? Okay, so I copied it. Do I paste it? I don't know. Copy, paste. No? I don't. Do I have to hold shift and do it? How do you copy patterns? I need to know this. Let's pull up the manual. Let's see. Do I already have the manual up? I have Octachainer up. Chat GPT, I got that up because I was having it write me apps. It's insane. That thing's crazy. Chat GPT. Absolutely bonkers. Okay, where is it? Just stay with me for a second. We're gonna find it. Oh, wait, was somebody giving me instruction on how to copy patterns? That's faster than the manual. Just hold down the pad for the pattern you want to copy and then press the destination pad. Well, I just did that. Okay. Where is it? I mean, I'm not seeing it. Do you double tap? Like, what do you do? There's nothing in that pattern. Why is that one so wacky now? Get me out of here. Oh no. That sounds so dumb. Let me see. No reload project, but that's okay. No, I don't want to save it. So we're reloading where I had it saved. Keep pressing the first one when you press the other. Okay. Okay. All right, let's try it. Copying pattern 1 to pattern 2. Sweet. Now what about deleting it? Shift delete? No. How do I delete patterns? Oh, I did delete it. Okay. It did delete. Okay. All right, there's a few more things to learn, I guess. All right. All right, I'm gonna try this variation thing. So I made it so that all the tracks share variation page. So it's like all of them are getting variations. So let's see. Get out of here and let's check out variation. All variations. Okay. So now we can go to, oh no, these ones don't have anything because there's nothing on those tracks. Okay, cool. Okay, so nothing's happening. Okay. So we could, let's get out of here. Oh, now you just toggle it on. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. That's a good idea. Just leave it on like that. Okay. Oops. What happened to my snares? Okay, so if I go shift, copy, and then I go to a new variation. Oh, it's because my snare track was over there. Oh, look at that. It's almost like a song mode. All right, let's go out of here and go paste. Okay. So now the variations are almost the same. Let's use like the fill. Hats. Drum and bass? I don't know. Garage? Sure. We're building some variations and we're doing it so incredibly fast. Which one is this? Solo that? Oh, okay. Oops, okay. Wait, no. Let's go here, paste that down. I really want to audition, like I want to audition these sounds when I move the note. Like cool. So now we have variation. We're still on the same pattern. Let's just go this one. Okay, so this is so sick. Now we've got some cool sounds. So this is the stuff I would be sampling this. Sampling and sampling and sampling. All right, it's dope. It's just dope. Thanks for the help, Tolenza and Oscar. Very, very helpful. Hi, Doug. Good to see you, Doug. Introducing cats always works when I run out of ideas. I feel you on that. Dude, you do a great job with Octatrack Pitch Away. I appreciate that, Neil. Thank you. Would you recommend the Play as a Digitact replacement? I got a Syntact and love it. Well, no. The reason why I would say it's not a replacement for the Digitact is because the Digitact is a sampler and this is a sample player. And they're just two different worlds. This is a pattern generator, a song generator, basically, or a... how do I want to put that? It's like, it's, you know, it's a song mode, basically. This is what you would use to put your patterns together into songs, essentially. I don't know how else to put that. The Digitact does that too as well, but the workflow on the Digitact is find a machine, plug it into your Digitact, sample it, chop it up, do weird stuff, mangle it, sound design territory. This is less sound design territory and more like pattern mangling, which is a whole new thing. Like, that's not a thing that I'm used to playing with, and I'm just messing around, and I like what I have just from messing around and playing with the performance effects. I think there's a lot of room for me to get good at this. Like right now, I'm a novice. Like, I think I know how to use it to like 90% of its capacity, but I'm a novice in terms of like, where do I go from here? What do I do next? Other than like, you know, just knowing some basic performance effects ideas. I'm not sequencing MIDI with it, but it is set up to sequence MIDI. So we are over here on the MIDI side. Well, it was. Let me see. So there, yes, we're playing MIDI. So yeah, sequencing MIDI. I'm not like right now, this is all just sample playback. I just have a massive library of sounds in here. Like, these folders are just full of sounds. And we're talking like, this is like 15 gigs of one-shots. All one-shots. There's maybe a couple loops in here, but for the most part, this is all one-shot samples. So thousands and thousands of sounds to choose from. I haven't heard most of them. I've heard like 2% of the sounds that I have in this thing, because there's just so many. But that's kind of what I thought was cool about it, because the SD card, if it's streamed from the SD card, that's something that they should implement, because I don't see why they couldn't do that. You can stream from the SD card on the M8, you can stream from the SD card on the Deluge, and that thing's like 5 years older than this. And that would, I don't know what that would do for them, or that would just allow it to, it would just be faster. Loading projects would be faster because they wouldn't have to load the samples into the memory. But I think loading samples into the memory is what allows these performance effects to work so well, and to like, because they're flawless. So I think maybe the sacrifice they made of not streaming sounds into the SD card was to be able to have these performance effects work so flawlessly. I don't know, but that might be the case. It's pretty awesome that you can set a different MIDI channel for each pad. Yeah, you can do that with the Digitact too. that's, I mean, that's cool, but that is something that you can do in the Elektron world as well. It'd be sick if the generate button could work on MIDI program changes. Oh, that would be sick. I never even thought of using this to generate random, well, it doesn't generate random notes. It just generates random triggers. If it generated random notes, that would be different. Right? Yeah. The random, it doesn't, well, I get, no, wait. Okay, so you can, let's mess with this for a second. So I do know that you can go, let's go back at it. Let's get out of performance mode. Let's just solo this track. And let's put down, okay, this is a really short sample. So I will just go, I'll just highlight the track. We'll go to, we'll just fill it with notes. Highlight it, randomize, within 2 octaves. So here's our random notes, and I guess if we go in here, oh, I didn't save it, so we didn't set it. So, all right, let's do it again. Hold on. Random, turn it up, and then we go save. Okay, so now that quantization has been applied. And now we go back in here and go scales. So now we have quantized notes that we were able to randomly put in. That's fair. Thanks for keeping me safe, Pooch. I mean, I don't like this, but that's kind of cool. Kind of. The overdrive is like very soft, and I appreciate that. Place 3, skip 3. Cool. Random note. Random octave up. Oh, I didn't even know about these. Okay, let's just mute this track. This is the bass line, right? Let's do that random octave up. Cool, now we have some more variation to our tune. Whoa. That's how you play a show, you just go right into the next thing. The sweet spots that Siren can generate. So cool. Yes, the play has the equivalent to p-locking, Doug. I think you'd like it a lot. Whoa. They updated the Deluge's screen. It's not like that anymore. How dope does that sound? Dope. This has been a sincerely fun session for me today. I'm not very tired right now, so I have like quite a bit of energy, which really helps with streaming, having some energy. All right, we're at the 2 hours and 23 minutes of streaming mark. I try not to go over 2 hours because I do this for forever when I do it. So I'm gonna be done now. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. This is the Polyend play. It's super dope. I completely put my EZBOT stamp of approval as if that had any value, but if it does have some value to you, I put the stamp on it. This thing's cool and totally worth getting your hands on. So is the Siren. Again, I'm going to be giving away a Siren. I have it here in front of me. I just need to find out. I just need to decide, not find out. I need to decide when to do that. And I will give one away. It's going to be awesome. We'll do a raffle. Some lucky son of a gun is going to get themselves a Siren for free. And they're $275 MSRP. And I'm going to hook somebody up. So cool. I'm excited to do that. My performance template is in version 2.2. Pick that up from Ko-fi or Patreon. Links in the description of the video. The solo template, which is really awesome for working with just the Octatrack and sampling into it. Also available on Ko-fi and Patreon. If you feel like supporting me and you want to be a part of our Discord community, go ahead and join the Discord. It is completely free to join the Discord and hang out and get pretty much all the perks that you would possibly get from the Patreon without having to pay for it. So feel free to just come and hang out. You don't need to worry about money. That's not a thing. But if you want to put some support into this, I do highly appreciate it. Thanks everybody for hanging out, for keeping me company, and for those of you who actually helped me figure this thing out, kudos to you. I really appreciate it. You walked me through a couple things, particularly being able to copy patterns. That was something I needed to know. I feel like I've learned pretty much everything else on the play. It's actually not super difficult to learn. Maybe that's because I have experience with boxes that are similar to it, or maybe it's just really that easy. I honestly don't know. But it feels to me like it's not gonna be really super heady like the Octatrack is or something, where you're like, oh my god, like why is it not doing what I want it to do? This thing's gonna make sound. Expect it to make sound. If you ever aren't hearing sounds, make sure you check your solos and your mutes. That's probably what's causing it. Really cool. I look forward to some updates. I know that they have an update coming here in the next, I don't know when, month or so. That's gonna be cool. So I'm excited about that. Maybe there'll be some stuff I don't know about coming with that. So look forward to that with the Polyend play. Polyend seems to be really interested in it. Also, I'll be making some content with it. If you're gonna buy synthesizers, buy them from Patchworks. That's really important. If you want to support our shop. We want all the support we can get. If you would like to become an affiliate, if you're a YouTuber or a blogger and you want to become an affiliate, go ahead and reach out to me on the Discord, and I'll get you set up with that. It's really easy, and you can become an affiliate and make 7% of a purchase. Someone clicks on your link, you can make 7% of that sale will go to you. So if you want to be an affiliate for Patchworks, I'm gonna hook you up and set you up with that. I want you to be an affiliate, and I think that'd be really cool. So your simple YouTube channel that that maybe you post on every once in a while, maybe you never post, maybe you just want to start one. You could start a YouTube channel, become an affiliate of Patchworks, show some cool sounds, and make some money. It's a real thing. It actually works, and you make real money. It's not even bad money. It's actually pretty good. So that's one way to make money as a musician. It's really hard to make money as a musician, as many of you know. So take advantage of that while you can. I'm Matthew, aka EZBOT. I'll hopefully see you next weekend around this time. I don't really know. But regardless, you'll see me on Friday at 3 o'clock on the Patchworks YouTube channel. Every Friday at 3 o'clock, I do a live stream there with a different piece of gear every single week. And I don't know what's going to happen next week. I was thinking maybe checking out the Buchla music easel, because I haven't played with it yet. So I think that'd be really fun to check out. I will see you next time. Take care.